Hello, my name is Healthy Emmie. I am a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. And today, you and I are going to spend the day together. I'm going to be showing you what I eat with my family, with my boyfriend, at restaurants, and I'm going to be traveling. So let's do it. Woo! Everyone's favorite people are on their way over, my parents. So I am going to be making from the Healthy Families cookbook, I'm going to be making us the protein pancakes. So what better way to spend a Sunday? And I actually just had some steamed zucchini. I always like to start my day with something green for a number of reasons. One, greens contain thylakoids, which shut off the hunger signal and reduce your cravings for the rest of the day. Also, this is gonna help blunt the insulin response because the pancakes are a little bit more refined. They've been blended and there isn't a veggie source in there. They do have some sweet potato in there, but a non-starchy veggie. I like to have green vegetables or any type of vegetables, but I like green vegetables beforehand to help blunt the insulin response, so you don't have as much of a blood sugar spike when you have vegetables before you have something starchy. Yeah, let's get to cooking. I'm not wearing this. I did not wake up like this. We're going out to dinner tonight. We're going to a restaurant and I was just trying on what I want to wear, and I want to wear this to the restaurant tonight, but I'm gonna get back in a sweatsuit now.
Oh my goodness.
He's doing
He's
well.
not scratching me. He's fighting.
He's strong.
Yeah, he is. He loves on kids a lot.
Oh.
All right.
Dad, how are they? I heard something that it's like one number, one word on a scale of 1 to 10, how good it is, and then a word to describe it. But I don't want to hear on a scale of 1 to 10 how good it is because I already know it's a 10. So that's your word?
Delicious.
Fluffy.
Okay, so I have 3 tasks that we need to complete post pancakes. The first is I want a loft for the cats.
I didn't know that's where you're going with it.
No, we saw on Instagram people made a loft for their cats, and we have the perfect space for it. So I got this
It's a little living room
cat
for the
tree.
guys.
Listen, you might as well make people work.
Put it together, but we need to hang it up, and I just need Dad to drill it into the wall.
You know?
So that's gonna be the cat loft.
When will you be like, when did you get, okay.
Yeah.
Like here, Hemi?
We have the cat climber up, hanging up my frames on the wall.
Yeah. Let's see how I did. That's the
Yay! The TV is up. Huzzah! Okay, healthy parents are gone. Makes me sad. If you know, you know. I just adore my parents. I have the capacity to recognize, and I've said this before, I feel like I got to the end of my life and then a genie granted me one wish and I said, can I go back to the beginning and do it again? I don't know if that means I'm an old soul or whatever it means, but I recognize that I'm living in the good old days right now where my parents come over for breakfast on a Sunday morning and my boyfriend's here and I have my cats. I feel like I'm gonna get sad when I talk about it. It's just I recognize like these are the good old days. I'm living in the good old days right now. I just feel so grateful. So enough on that. I am going to prep some food to have in a little bit. If you guys have any wholesale restaurant warehouses near you, This is 3 pounds of zucchini and it was about $3. So if you can find a wholesale warehouse near you, you can save a lot on produce. So just do some Google searches and see what you can find. I have my Hawaiian sweet potatoes and a Japanese sweet potato in a bowl, just getting clean. I love this Renovera. I get this on Amazon. It's a little bit pricey, but it's so worth it because it lasts for a long time. You just put a little bit in water and the gunk that comes off is so satisfyingly gross, but you know that your produce is clean. So I'm gonna drain these. This is gonna go in the oven and then these are gonna go in the Instant Pot. I have a little steamer basket. This thing has been used and abused. It's very well loved. It's literally on its last limb. There used to be 3 legs here and now there's only 1, but it still works. So it just goes directly into the Instant Pot and then I'm just gonna put these in. I don't poke holes in them. I just drop them right in here and I'm gonna put some water, about 1 inch of water in the bottom of the Instant Pot. And then I'll steam them for about, I'll probably do these guys for maybe 12 minutes. I'm just gonna put this in directly on the rack and let it cook in there for about maybe an hour to an hour and a half. My potatoes are cooked, so I just put them into a bowl and I just put them into the fridge. I don't cover them or anything. In they go. Okay, mealtime is upon us. I'm going to be making what we call a KISS meal. A KISS meal stands for Keep It Simple, Sweetie. Most of my meals are KISS meals. I love the simplicity. I love being able to taste the whole natural, real foods and keep my taste buds nice and calibrated. So I'm just going to have what a KISS meal is, a simple combination of choose your starch, choose your veggie, choose your legume. If you want fruit, nuts, seeds, avocado. It's just building a basic bowl or a plate. I'm also gonna make sure to take one of my supplements. This is my vitamin B12. If you are on a plant-based diet, you absolutely must, non-negotiable, you have to supplement B12. B12 is essential. Essential means that our body cannot make it itself. We have to get it from an outside source. Unfortunately, due to modern sanitization, B12 is not going to be naturally found in foods because you'd find it in dirt and in streams. And back in the day, we drank from the streams. We ate the produce that had the dirt on it, but nowadays we don't do that. So we have to get it somehow. Most of the vitamin B12 supplements that you find on the market are disgusting. They have GMOs and gunk and sugar and oil and animal products and gelatin. So I made a clean one. So go ahead and get it. And I'm gonna take it. And not to brag, but I can swallow it dry. Again, not to brag. So my boyfriend right now is going to get his lunch. He just went and picked something up. He's walking to get it right now. He and I will eat different meals and it's perfectly okay with both of us. The meal is not the thing that brings us together. It's our partnership and our bond and our relationship that brings us together. So when we have a meal, we're not talking about the shared meal that we're having. We are talking about how beautiful it is out today. This is the first day that we can go eat lunch outside. We're going to dinner tonight. He just hit his deadline. How is he feeling about that? I'm headed to California this week. How am I feeling about that? Which is very excited. So there's so many things for us to talk about outside of just sharing the meal, and we don't need the meal to anchor us. And I think that's a testament to the strength of our relationship. But I say this not to, it sounds like I'm talking, oh, my relationship is so great. That's so not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is it's okay if what's on here looks different. This does not mean that your relationship is going to suffer or that it doesn't bring you further apart from one another just because what's on here looks different. It's what's in here that counts. No. Not to be super cheesy. And I can also appreciate that there are individuals that want to share meals with their significant other and their partner and their family. And that's why I have all my cookbooks so that you can find recipes that everybody can enjoy. That's a possibility too. And so is this. There is not a one-size-fits-all way to do this lifestyle. And I want you to feel empowered to find what's going to realistically work for you. And I think you'll see that as a recurrent theme in this video when I talk about what we're gonna do at the restaurant tonight. How finding what works for you, it's okay if it looks different from what works for somebody else who's also on a whole food plant-based lifestyle. What I appreciate doing is he has what he want to have, what he want to have. He has what he wants to have and he enjoys it and it's delicious for him. And I have what I want to have and we talk about other things outside of food. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to meditate since he is out getting his food. So I'm going to meditate for a minute now. I always meditate before my meals and then I'll be in rest and digest. This baby comes out steaming. Add some of the veg. Some of the cashew butter. Beauteous. This is a mix of flax seeds, cinnamon, chia seeds, and hemp seeds. And I'm gonna put that on top of the sweet potato with some nut butter. And we'll take some of the seeds. Cuts like butter. You gotta love it. And look, you can tell. That's how you know it's perfectly done. When she slides right off the bone. Here she is, my gorgeous, simple meal. Japanese sweet potato, beautifully roasted. I mean, the caramelization is next level. Oh, that's a good one. Steamed zucchini, and then if you are looking to maintain weight, this is where, hi! You would add in a little bit of an oomph, which I have done through adding in some cashew butter and then some seeds. If your goal is to release weight, you would want to be modest with those, but my goal is to maintain weight, so it's important to have some more calorically dense foods. So my boyfriend actually just went and took a nap. That is how exhausted he is from this work deadline. But it's actually perfect timing because although it's Sunday, I'm traveling this week, and Tuesday, I'm traveling from Boston to LA, so I'm gonna be on a plane all day, and I usually have calls on Tuesdays with my clients, so I actually shifted my schedule. So today, I'm having calls with clients. So it's such a special Sunday because I saw my parents this morning, we're going with friends tonight. Today, I was just talking to my boyfriend about this before he's beginning his nap, and and by the way, he's out of the apartment right now, so I'm not speaking away while he's going to take his nap, but he'll be back in a few minutes. I was talking to my boyfriend about this, and I said, you know, I looked at my call schedule for who I have my calls with today, and I'm just so excited to catch up with these people because they feel like my family. They're my homies. Like, I know them. I know what's going on in their world. And I get excited to see these faces. These people mean so much to me. And if there comes a time where they are no longer a client of mine, I'm going to miss them so much. Like, I don't even want to think about it. But I was just saying to my boyfriend, like, how cool is that? That with the calls with my clients, I get so excited to see their faces and see how they're doing. And if they're struggling, that is okay. That's something I talk about with my clients too, is a great client is not the person that shows up with an A+ report every week. A great client is the client that shows up authentically and honestly every week. And what I cultivate, or at least I try to, and my clients may not be able to attest to it, but I think that they will, cultivating what the weekly call is, which is this safe environment. And if you don't have this in your world, please try to find a place for it. If it's through my program, awesome. If it's not, awesome. I just want you to have this, which is a safe environment where you're able to come, speak candidly, authentically, and openly, and process what is going on. Get it out of you. I was just talking about this last week with a client. She was keeping so much in, and she wasn't yet ready to talk openly and honestly on calls. She was coming to calls and listening, but wasn't speaking yet. And all of this was building up inside of her. And then she finally was ready to start sharing on the calls. She wrote me after, she said, I feel like I just released so much. Like I feel like I just had a massage and I feel relaxed, and all of that is out of me. And when we have these emotions building up within us, and there's things happening in our world that are causing stress and overwhelm and all these thoughts, and it's all happening inside of here, we do one of two things. We either try to stuff it down, so it's up here and it's in our head, right? It's all built up. This is how I picture it. It's gonna go one of two ways. we're either going to stuff it down through food, get out of my head, get out, and we stuff it down through food, and then the emotions get trapped. So now they're trapped, they're in there deep. Or what we can do is we can let it out. We can talk about it. We can write about it, talking about it to other people, to me, in your mindset journal. Get it out of you. So when you're experiencing these intense emotions and stresses and they're all up here, say, this is gonna go one of two ways. I can either stuff it down through food or I can let it out. And the healthy thing to do is to let it out and process it. And so that's what might happen on the call today. I don't know what today's call is gonna bring, but I know that I'm gonna come away from it feeling even deeper connection with my clients and proud of them no matter what. And that's the last thing I'll say, rambling away here, is that I am proud of no matter what my client reports with the photos that they take of their food, whether they're taking a photo in the photos of a beautiful SOS meal, or if the photos of something that they're not proud of and they write, I can't believe I made this decision, it made me feel gross. I'm proud of them either way, because either way is progress. If you are taking a photo of something that is not aligned with your food philosophy, it's not aligned with the SOS program, and you're actively writing, this is not aligned with who I want to be, I'm not proud of this decision, that is progress, because change is not linear. And part of the stages of change, I'll put it up right here what the stages of change is. If somebody is engaging in that, this is not aligned with who I want to be, I don't want to be making food decisions like this, they're still falling into the stages of change. They might be in the contemplation stage, which is where you recognize that your actions are detrimental, but you're still engaging in them. That's contemplation. They might be in the preparation stage, where they're saying, I recognize that this is not aligned with who I want to be, but my next meal is going to be SOS. If they write that in the caption, then I know that they're in the preparation stage of change. Or they might be in relapse, where they say, I had a really great week, and then bam, I'm having this out of nowhere. No matter what, they're engaging in change. And change is not just turning in an A+ report every week. So even if you're not a client of mine, I think the key takeaways of this little chat here, and I can't believe I squeezed all this in before my boyfriend is getting back. The key takeaways of this little chat are that when you have things building up here, you need to find a healthy way to let it out of you. And if it's with me, awesome. If it's not with me, awesome. I want to make sure that you have this somewhere. That's the first thing. And the second thing, to recognize that change is not linear. It does not look beautiful all the time, but that is okay. I want your change and I want your journey to be authentic. And I want you to be honest with yourself and honest with the person that's guiding you to ensure that we're progressing. Oh my gosh, guys. The purpose of this clip was to tell you that I'm gonna eat some potatoes, those potatoes that I put in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna eat those before I get on my call. That was the whole point of this clip. Let me show you these beautiful potatoes. How gorgeous are these? Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna have some of these and then hop on my call. So we're headed to a restaurant for dinner tonight. My boyfriend's best friend, co-worker, he wants to celebrate a deadline finishing for work. And so it's my boyfriend, myself, my boyfriend's best friend, his girlfriend, and then one or two of our other friends. We're going to Contessa in Boston, which is it's like the spot. It's the place to be. So I actually used the restaurant call script, which is from the Slim on Starch program. If you're a client or if you're in the program, you can access that email script, and I just emailed them and I told them what I could have. I find that it's a lot easier when going to restaurants to tell them what you can have as opposed to telling them what you can't have, because then you've given them this riddle to try to solve. So instead, looking at the menu and saying, here are all the great things on your menu that I can have with these minor accommodations. I'm always very appreciative. I leave a 5-star review if places are able to accommodate. But what I also like to do is I'll actually write out, I'll email them and confirm that the dietary modifications can be made. And then I'll just bring a little piece of paper with me where I'm actually gonna write out what we agreed upon on the email. This way I can just give it directly to the waiter so that they don't have, nothing gets lost in communication. It's just a lot easier. It's a lot less stressful for everyone involved. So I'm just gonna write on a little piece of paper here what we agreed upon in the email to make sure that everything goes smoothly tonight. And just a note on restaurant eating, I have many clients who, when they're home, they stick to SOS, and then when they're at a restaurant, they order whatever they want to on the menu, or they order whatever is gonna make them feel their best, and they don't try to stick to the SOS guidelines when they're at restaurants. The hardest thing with restaurants is that the food is always going to be cooked with oil, and that's the toughest modification to make at restaurants. And there are some scenarios where the stress of trying to get an oil-free vegan meal is actually going to cause more inflammation and harm than enjoying a meal that has a little bit of oil in it. So I've been doing this for so long that this feels so natural and second nature to me. And if I was in a scenario where I felt that the stress of trying to do it was causing so much, wreaking havoc on my nervous system, I would be aware of that and be able to say, okay, I'm going to way too great of lengths to make this happen, and this is becoming a huge big thing that's causing more harm than just eating a food that had some oil or whatever it is. I would recognize that, and I'd probably make the decision that causes the least amount of harm on my system overall, be it if I were to have something that had a little bit of oil in it. But I do want you to keep that in mind, that just because you see me doing this, if this inspires you to do it, fantastic. But I also want to clearly communicate here that there may be an appropriate case, and there's a totally suitable argument and defendable argument for sometimes it's better to actually just order what is on the menu and order it from a place of clarity and intention, slowing down, being purposeful, saying, you know, I wish that I could get this without oil, but I think that I'm actually causing less harm and less inflammation by making a decision that is not going to cause so much mental and emotional stress. Don't take this as an excuse to go out to your nearest restaurant and order a deep dish pizza. And I know you're not going to do that, but I wanted to bring a fresh perspective here because I think that this is something that you might not hear, especially in the whole food plant-based world, that sometimes if we're super stressed about our restaurant eating and what we're gonna have, that can wreak huge havoc on us emotionally, which is going to show up physiologically. So what's the right answer for you? There is no clear-cut black and white, right or wrong answer. This is why when I work with my clients, I really get to know them, who they are, what their goals are. If I have a client who, you know, there are some clients where I have to teach them how to do this because that's what they need to help reach their goals. I have other clients who this is not going to help them because they actually need to learn how to do things more sustainably and how to make this work within their lifestyle on the whole. And them sticking to SOS 90% of the time in the house is going to pave the way for long-term success. So please recognize that there is no black or white answer here. We have to be able to appreciate some flexibility, some individuality, and some consideration of your unique circumstances. For dinner last night, I ended up having this gorgeous, it looked like a pizza, but it was gorgeous what they made for me. Contessa in Boston, they took squash and they laid it on a plate. They thinly sliced, I'll put up a photo here. They thinly sliced squash and charred it, and they put it on a plate. So I had this big plate of squash, and then they put arugula on top, they put tomatoes on top, and then a bunch of steamed broccoli with some lemon on the side. It was delicious. It wasn't as much food as I usually eat calories wise. It didn't have as much oomph to it, but I was so appreciative that they were able to make it for me. And I will never, beggars can't be choosers. If they make me something, I am so appreciative and grateful. And so I was so thrilled to be able to have that. And then when I got home, I actually had some more sweet potatoes just because I needed a little bit more fuel. I didn't get enough, and I can't go to bed if I don't feel satisfied. So I had some more when I got home. Okay, now on to the exciting stuff. Happy Monday! Today is a great day because look at the notification I just got. It is time to check in for my flight to LAX. I'm so excited! I'm visiting my best friends in LA, my college roommate Ellen, and then who lived next door to us was Michaela. We were in the same sorority in college. They're my besties. So let me show you how we're gonna plan the food thing. And don't worry, you're gonna be along for the vlog, which will be the next one. So as you know, I do not subscribe to the idea that we have to just eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. However, when with others, that tends to be the case. So I'm gonna be planning out sort of bird's eye view my meals so that when we get there, because what we're gonna do, I'm flying to LA, and then we're actually gonna drive up to Malibu and we're gonna spend 4-ish days in Malibu. So I know I'm going to be there. I get in on Tuesday, BLD for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I've outlined here the days that I'll be there and breakfast, lunch, and dinner for those days. This will make it so easy because once we get there, just be able to go to the grocery store and pick up what we need to. I know that Thursday for lunch, I'm actually meeting a new friend named Briar. So I'm doing lunch, Briar on that day. We're actually going to meet somewhere. And then dinner on Friday, I know that we have a reservation. So my friends are the best and they booked sushi. Twist my arm. And I will be here for my breakfast meal tomorrow. Okay, so I filled in the things that are already set in stone. So I'm gonna have my breakfast here tomorrow. I'll bring food with me to have at the airport. And then I have lunch with my friend on Friday. And then we're going out to dinner, or on Thursday. And then on dinner, we're going out to Friday. What? I'm so excited, I can't even speak. We're going out to dinner on Friday. So now I can sort of fill in the blanks with what I'm going to have on each of these days. And then when we go to the grocery store, I'll be able to pick everything up. And I'm actually gonna do that in a different color. Okay, so I've got it all written out, but I'm gonna tease my next vlog. So make sure you're subscribed. And if you made it to this point of the video and you're excited for the next video, I'm gonna be showing you everything that I'm eating and what we're getting up to. I want you to comment, let's go to Malibu, because we're going to Malibu together. You, me, Ellen, Michaela, it's gonna be great. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.